Hey, all right, we're live. You know, I was putting my daughter to sleep, and the problem with putting my daughter to sleep, she always asks me to snuggle her in bed, and she always puts the Beatles on shuffle, and she has all these stuffed animals in her room. And what inevitably happens is I slowly start to fall asleep. And then I'm like caught halfway between this sleep state. I'm like in that in between state of being asleep and awake. I'm just conscious enough where I know that I got to go downstairs and start the live show, but I can't possibly leave the bed because I'm so comfortable and my body is beginning to shut down, and so it's like this fight. It's always a fight to leave her room so I could come down here and start the show. And man, it was difficult. It was really, really difficult. Right in the middle of Hey Jude, I was like, okay, it's enough. It's time. I gotta go downstairs. So here I am. And we're continuing our discussion that we started the other day. Because I don't know about you, but I'm curious, who is the missing band? Who is the missing band? That's what I want to know. Um, I'm like, I'm really scratching my head. You know, what was extra dubious about this whole thing was sorry, I'm trying to kill I'm trying to sorry. Okay, now all right, that's good. Trying to do two things at once and I can't friggin' talk. They're torturing us because they blurred out the name. We could just make out enough to know something, but not know enough. And so I'm sitting here trying to take a look and see what could the name possibly be. I'm open. I want to hear what you think. What do you think the name is going to be? Is it really a big deal? Now, there's sort of a catch-22 when you look at the name because okay, well, so I went on Reddit. I saw this thing on Reddit. Yeah, this guy, guys, fucking. I'll get there. I'll get there in a second. I'll get there in a second. God damn it, guy, friggin' puts everything in the chat before I could even build up to it, motherfucker. All right, let's take a look at this post that was removed this was removed from Reddit already by the mods because they suck. The people are trying to figure out what the blurred name is. Now, when you look at it, like let's actually look at the name itself. It looks like the top part is 3 letters, right? It's got to be 3 letters, and then the bottom part is a really long name. So, which leads me to think initially, like right off the bat, like logically, it's got to be something that's like the something. So, what could the something be? And what is it why is it blurred out? Is it blurred out because it's they're burying the lead? Is it a major announcement? If it was major, would it be on this tier with Power Trip and the Damned and Joyce Manor and the Dillinger Escape Plan, or would it be up here with the other big fish? You know, is this their way of making it more mysterious? Maybe once this name is revealed, it'll move up to the next tier because it's a big friggin' deal. By the way, Chev, I do not think it's Minor Threat. I would love for it to be Minor Threat. Here's why I think we could rule out Minor Threat, because Minor Threat would eclipse the Misfits up there. It just would be, that would be such an announcement. That would be such news that would break the back of punk rock internet for that kind of reunion at this point. The only other thing that could compare to it would be the Misfits reunion, or maybe the original or the classic lineup of the Cro-Mags would be a pretty big one as well. We know that's neither. I mean, Harley's playing right down here. So we're looking at a band that is the something, I want to guess. The something. That's a really long name, whatever it might be. So here's what, let's see what some people have said here on. Good thing that this somehow still loaded because this was removed. Let's see what people have said. If I can actually, someone said Imagine Dragons. Yeah, right. That's hilarious. My stupid ass thought Bad Religion before looking literally above where the blurred name is, right? But I mean, it wouldn't be, I feel like why is it blurred? Is it blurred because it's not confirmed, or is it blurred because it's a major deal and they want to blow everybody's mind? Now, here's what somebody put here, obviously, and this is what I've heard. Okay, Dead Kennedys. I don't think Dead Kennedy fits. Dead Kennedy doesn't fit. Plus, Jello is playing, right? So if Jello is playing, Kennedy is too. Here, let me switch this over. Kennedy is too short of a word for that second word. I'm sorry. So I rule out Dead Kennedy. I don't think it's the Offspring either. And if it was the Offspring, I think they would be up higher. They would probably be considered. I feel like the Offspring would be considered a headliner, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. But I don't think it's the Offspring. Too short. Now, Aaron brings up a good point here, right? Aaron brings up a good point. He brings up the Pistols. The Pistols have reunited already, but it's been a long time since they played. And we've talked a lot about the beef between the Sex Pistols. There is not. I mean, those guys are probably never going to play again. And if they do, they are so utterly divided. And besides that, yes, the first word fits perfectly, but Pistols is way too short. Pistols, that's only 6 letters. This looks way longer. This is like punk rock Wordle. That's what we're doing right now. For anybody who plays Wordle, this is like punk rock Wordle as we try to figure out who this band is. Hi, Amy. How are you? Thank you. Look, guys, follow Amy's example here and leave me some skulls as we sit and discuss this. Now, all right, Chev has this out, Operation Ivy. Could it be Operation Ivy? I want to say of all the guesses, I want to believe that it could be Operation Ivy. Oh, Aaron nailed it too, man. It could be the Vibrators. That totally clicks, man. That first word being the, and then Vibrators right underneath. I could see it being the Vibrators. But here, let's go back to Operation Ivy. Could it be Operation Ivy? We do know that Tim Armstrong and Jesse Michaels, they've been playing shows recently. They started a band. He's been joining them doing Operation Ivy covers. Matt Friedman is the bassist of Rancid. He's not. Matt and Tim have never stopped playing together. I mean, we are one link in the chain away from having an Operation Ivy reunion. Amy makes a great point. Could be the Descendants. That totally fits too. The Descendants would probably be on this tier. Absolutely. You'd have the Descendants on this tier, which would probably be a big diss to Greg Ginn, right? If Bill Stevenson was up here and he was down here, that would actually be quite sweet. I could totally see it being the Descendants. Why they would feel the need to blur that out, I mean, it would just make the blurring of the name a lot lamer if it was just about confirmation, or if it was like legit, they're trying to keep a mystery from us. And it's fun to think about it. Kevin wants it to be the Meat Men. It's definitely not. I don't think it's the Meat Men either. But let's go back to Operation Ivy for a minute. So now somebody else posted this on the, they said, posted obviously right here. See that? And then check this out. Look at this. Look at this. Ready for this? This blew me away. Hold on. Can I make this full screen? Guess not. All right, whatever. Could it be Operation Ivy? Take a look at this, you guys. What? It's upside down. Ivy is at the top. The 3 letters are upside down and backwards and as the bottom to further throw people off. Could it be Operation Ivy? I think that it is entirely, looking at this, I think it's entirely possible. I think whoever did this is a friggin' goddamn genius. I don't think it's the mentors. Nope, that doesn't work. Look at how long that word is, operation, and then look how it fits there. It's got to be Operation Ivy. I mean, that'd be crazy. Now, if it was Operation Ivy, that would be news that you would lead your festival with. You wouldn't bury the lead with Operation Ivy. That would be like the news. And Operation Ivy, I don't think would be at that tier. I think you'd have to consider Operation Ivy to be a headliner, right? You can't. How are you gonna, that's one of the most anticipated, desired, punk ska reunions you could possibly imagine. Now, the flip side of that is, take a look at who else is. First of all, you don't have Rancid on the bill, okay? But you do have, look at all the ska bands. Look at all the ska bands. Imagine, plus you have Sublime. Imagine if it was Sublime, Op Ivy. I mean, I can't. Again, if Jesse Michaels hadn't done those shows with Tim Armstrong and the Interrupters, I would say probably not. But I think that there is a slim possibility that it could be Operation Ivy, and this is a secret, a crazy secret. Now, besides the most obvious reason is that they just haven't confirmed this band, but they don't want to wait anymore on the announcement because, listen, this is a festival for June, and they made the announcement in February. You would imagine this announcement would have been made in like December or something. It's like, I feel like a couple of months is not enough. I feel like you need to give at least half year for something like this. So it's very possible they're like, oh, we just can't confirm that band yet. We got to make the announcement. Let's just blur out the name. That's the most likely. That is the most likely. That's the Occam's razor, as they say. But, man, oh man, it would be something else. That's not, maybe that is something that you would want to leave as a surprise. Everybody's saying the Mentors. Yeah, right. Vanilla Ice. Come on, be serious, people. So far, I think the biggest contenders, I think the best. Yeah, Kevin makes a great point here. Operation Ivy would be at the tippy top. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it couldn't be Operation Ivy. They wouldn't put them on that tier unless, look, if it is an upside down image, then they're attempting to throw people off. If they're attempting to throw people off, they're going to additionally do one layer of subterfuge and put it on the lower tier, right? Chris is saying, what if they left a blank spot for a special band to add later on? Very possible. But Kevin counters with a very good point. Op Ivy reunion is way bigger than Dillinger. So is Dillinger Escape Plan is a reunion as well? I did not know that. See, I don't know anything. There's so many bands. In fact, Joe was texting me and he's like, dude, you were really showing your age. You don't even know who Turnstile is. It's true, man. I'm not familiar with Turnstile at all. I don't know nothing about Turnstile. Apparently they're like really important, really popular hardcore band. Dude, first time hearing about it. I mean, I've definitely heard the name is definitely floated through my between my ears a few times. I'm not familiar with Turnstile. I've never listened to a single Dillinger Escape Plan song in my life. I've never listened to a Power Trip song. I've never heard of Joyce Meyer. They're just some of these bands I just don't know. Apparently this one down here is called MS Paint. Never heard of them. Yeah, Chev is doubling down as he's saying Turnstile is huge right now, not my style. I'm gonna check them out. I think I'm gonna check them out. We got WS in the house, Winston Smith. He says Rancid is more likely than Operation Ivy, but no effects coming to an end. I'd say they are likely. I will say I think it's kind of a bummer that No Effects is not on this bill. I would imagine that Fat Mike will be at the show either which way. Yeah, man, No Effects and Rancid on this bill should be, I mean, really would just take it over the top. I remember, they had like an emo band festival that was like this. And I think there was even a problem, like it didn't happen. Something didn't happen with it. Like it didn't go down or they had issues and it was in Vegas or something. And I remember thinking like, fuck that. Like, wow, if you're into all those bands, like I'm not into any of those bands, but I was like, man, I kind of wish I was, because what a fucking festival. And now here we have one. Yeah, Kevin says NoFX is doing their own thing. I don't know, man. I don't know where they are prioritizing Social Distortion over the Blurred name here. Perhaps we're just making a big deal over nothing. Dillinger with Mike Patton EP is cool, but they are math metal. I see. I've never listened to this. Biz, we considered Offspring, but that second word is too long for Offspring. That's not an Offspring word. I don't think so. The only thing that really fits is Operation Ivy Upside Down, or as Amy said, The Descendants. I think both of those work. Both of those fit well. Everything else everybody's mentioned doesn't really jive. I mean, you know, it's just it's such a mystery. It's a mystery. I wonder, and here's the thing. It's very possible. I wonder if any of the bands even know. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's like super secret. Maybe it's under wraps. Maybe nobody knows. Who would go next to the Damned? I mean, here's the things in our punk rock Wordle game. Who is going to be on the same tier, by their logic, mind you, who's going to be on the same tier as the Damned and these other three bands? It doesn't help that I'm not familiar with Joyce Manor, Power Trip, or Dillinger Escape Plan, even though I've heard of Dillinger Escape Plan. Okay. Aaron's friend says the Criminals. I don't know who the Criminals are. Is that the band that Jesse Michaels has with Tim Armstrong? Because if it is, that might make more sense, but it still wouldn't be so high up. Does Tim Armstrong really have that kind of power outside of Rancid to command a spot next to the Damned? Why would it? I don't think it would. I don't know. That's pretty cool, Kevin. Corey Feldman. That's what we need. We need Corey Feldman singing Danzig songs. That's what I want in my life forever. Imagine Corey Feldman just doing like Her Black Wings. That would just be something really special. Yeah, I don't know. I really do not know. I'm trying to like run through a list of punk bands right now here. I'm going to keep scrolling through this Reddit here and see if anything else comes up. And I'll just keep talking, walking. The English Beat. No, that name does not fit. That name doesn't fit. In fact, before we continue on, let's take a quick moment and stop to talk about our favorite sticker company. You know the one. We'll be right back after this. We've got a new sticker deal at Riot Stickers. That's right, folks. We are starting a brand new promotion here at riotstickers.com, and it is for die cut stickers. What exactly is die cut? What does it mean? It's time for Sticker Science 101. Basically, you got your regular stickers, right? But we introduce a new element with the die cut sticker. Basically, what you do with a computer-guided scalpel. That's right, computer-guided scalpels. Isn't that a great band name, Computer-Guided Scalpel? I love it. You can cut the exact shape of whatever your design is. So whatever you got going on, whatever its borders are, there's no borders, there's no limitations. You take your computer-guided scalpel and you just cut around the edge and you get, voila, a die-cut sticker. So in addition to the UV coating that protects from the sun, in addition to being printed on vinyl, which makes them weatherproof and waterproof, you can now have the exact shape that you want. Well, you always could, but you couldn't for a price like this. For $69, you can get 200 die-cut stickers. There are some people out there who are die-cut fanatics. They need die-cut stickers in their lives. You are not going to find a better deal than this. Now, there's only one place you're going to find this incredible die-cut sticker deal for $69. 200 stickers for $69. And that's if you go to the link down in the description. You go to riotstickers.com/Frumess. That's riotstickers.com/Frumess. What? Sharpie Riot, have you lost your mind? Have you lost your mind? These prices are insane. These prices are Crazy Eddie level prices. If you know Crazy Eddie, then you might be old. You might be older than me. You're probably way older than me. You click on the link, you do the thing, and you get your die cut stickers. Do not hesitate to get this deal, okay? And without further ado, Future Jeff, roll the 60-second Riot sticker commercial. Go, do it.
We make stickers, banners, and buttons too. Posters and promo cards. There's nothing we can't print for you. From stage backdrops to bass drum heads. We can print on shirts. We can print on hats. We can print on pants. Cheap prices and high quality. Quick turnaround times and free shipping. We also offer free artwork support. Great customer service and so much more. RiotStickers.com. Riot Stickers, we are the bomb. RiotStickers.com. Riot Stickers, we are the bomb. RiotStickers.com. Riot Stickers, we are the bomb. RiotStickers.com. Riot Stickers, we are the bomb.
And that's a promise. Okay. Okay. Let's dive back into it, shall we? Who else could it be? Who else could it be? Let's take a look. Let's see what some other people are saying in the commentos. Corey Feldman. Blondie. Yeah, come on. Yeah, right. Remember, guys, it's got to. Okay, now Aaron's got a good one here. I don't think he's correct. Slaughter and the Dogs, that does not fit. Slaughter and the Dogs definitely does not fit, but it's a long name and it's a punk band, and that definitely, definitely not Marky Ramone. Don't think it's Marky Ramone. Lunatics, that second word could be lunatics, but the Lunatics would not be on the same tier as the Damned. I'm sorry, it just wouldn't be. Speedball Baby, not familiar. Yeah, new Riot stickers for your new band and Riot stickers for my green Jello logo on the way using the promo code. Thank you, sir. That's awesome. Everybody should use Riot stickers. That they use the Lunatics. Like Lunatics fits, I think, but they're too high up. I just wouldn't do it. Glenn Matlock performing Sid Sings. That would be funny. Isn't it weird that Glenn Matlock was in Sid's backing band at one time or another? I think we've ruled out Dead Kennedys because the second word couldn't be Kennedys and Jello is DJing. The CJs, could be the CJs. It could be. Look, you have the, and then you have circle would be right here. And JERKs would be right here. I got my video got stripped of monetization for saying that way too many times in a Black Flag video I did. How great would it be if it was just flag? Black Flag and flag right there. Oh my God. That would be too funny. I heard somebody else say it was Newfound Glory. Don't think it's Newfound Glory. That would be such a bummer if it was too. I would be super duper lame. Something that I saw going around, Stiff Little Fingers, Stiff Little Fingers, STIFF little and fingers. That totally works. Stiff Little Fingers would probably be on the same tier as the Damned. Actually, they would probably be lower. I feel like they would actually be on this tier, but they're like a old school punk band. Could it be the Buzzcocks? Could it be the Buzzcocks? Gigi Allen hologram. Oh my God. Okay, Buzzcocks maybe. Guys, what are we thinking about Buzzcocks? The Interrupters. It could be the Chev. It could be the Interrupters. That does fit the and Interrupters. It would still be pretty lame if it was, only because it just, Barry to surprise us with a band, and it just is the Interrupters. I don't know. Why the Interrupters? Why not Rancid? Maybe I don't know. Maybe they couldn't get Rancid because of the price. Who knows? The Dead Boys. Possible, but much like, okay, so here's why I don't think it would be. Here's why I don't think it would be the Dead Boys, because the Dead Boys currently, or it's Cheetah Chrome going around playing as the Dead Boys, which is pretty friggin' lame considering that the other 3 Dead Boys are still alive. Jimmy Zero, Johnny Blitz, and Jeff Magnum are all alive, and they are not playing with Cheetah Chrome, and he's going around calling himself the Dead Boys. I don't like it. I love Cheetah Chrome, but I just think it's so lame. He's got 4 other dudes, and he's calling himself the Dead Boys. You just can't, dude. It'd be one thing if it was the surviving Dead Boys, especially if they just went out. What do they call themselves? The Dead? What do they call themselves? The Grateful Dead? That'd be pretty funny. I had a joke once online. It was like, the Grateful Dead Boys are playing Grateful Dead songs in the style of Dead Boys songs. No, what was it? It was a combination of Beach Boys, Grateful Dead, and Dead Boys. And I was trying to it's Grateful Dead songs. No. It would be the Dead Boys playing Beach Boys songs in the style of Grateful Dead songs. Something like that. Something ridiculous. I don't know. That'd be funny. Thank you. Thank you for the support, Winston. Much appreciated. New York Dolls. Man, no, that ship is long sailed, man. Unfortunately. Buzzcocks does fit. What did Winston Smith say earlier that we ruled out? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. Fuck. Who could it be? Who the fuck could it be? I mean, it's just making me scratch my head. Stiff Little Fingers really does work, though. Yeah, obviously, Val, you're so right. It's AFI. AFI fits perfectly. Case closed. We can wrap it up, everybody. Valhalla has figured it out. Definitely AFI. I'm looking through this thing here. So someone is saying that Offspring is playing at the Louder Than Life Festival in Kentucky this year. I guess maybe that's not that. It is cool that the Aquabats are there. Someone says it could be a placeholder for a yet to be determined band. That is the most obvious answer. Like that is I mean, that's likely. Really, it's AFI. I mean, Val, I hate to listen. Ultimately, none of us know, and ultimately you could be right, but look at the way that it's blurred out here. You know what I'm saying? I don't think AFI would be blurred out like that. I agree. Offspring was Offspring was fucking mainstream, broke into the mainstream. Offspring Offspring would be, I mean, they're almost at like Green Day level. Offspring are in terms of their push. Scott, that would be interesting. Okay, Scott does bring up a good point. If it was, I still rule out the Dead Kennedys, but if it was the Dead Kennedys, could it be the Dead Kennedys reuniting with Jello Biafra? Here's why it never would be, because that would not be on that tier unless they're trying to throw us off. That would be at the top of the bill. That would be higher than the Misfits. That'd be higher than Social Distortion. There's no way that is Dead Kennedys with Jello Biafra. No way in hell. And that is a huge falling out that we should probably do a whole show on at some point. We should figure it out. New Model Army, says someone. Could New Model Army could be, I don't know. I feel like that top word though looks like the. How does anybody agree with me that the top word is a the? It's gotta be. The Descendants, I'm pretty surprised not to otherwise see them on this lineup. Yeah. Not usually rendered with a the. Ah, that's good. That's a good point. There's no the with the Descendants. So it wouldn't be Descendants. It would not be the Descendants that they would have. It would just say Descendants. So it's not the Descendants. Someone wrote the Distillers. I mean, Distillers could almost fit, but it's not the Descendants. I agree. So I'm thinking if it is like some band, it's gonna be maybe it is Operation Ivy, or maybe I think if it was any sort of surprise, it would be Stiff Little Fingers. Raphael says, what if they just wrote something random like to be confirmed and blurred it instead of putting the actual band's logo? Obviously, honestly, that's probably what it is, in all honesty. If the Damned was the one blurred, it would be easy to recognize it. You're right. You're absolutely right. And it's most likely that, and we are playing the guessing game for nothing other than it's fun to play the guessing game. Like, listen, guys, whether we're right or wrong, whether Raphael is right or wrong, is it not fun? It's fun to play the guessing game, right? I'm having fun. So let's keep playing the guessing game a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. Yeah, Glenn and Jerry making ice cream. Glenn and Jerry's with fruity bat swirl. Come on, guys. Come on. Someone's got to fit. Look, here's someone really putting their mind to it. Colsack here on Reddit says, it looks like a 2-word band. First word is 3 letters and the second word is longer. My guess is a 90s one-hit wonder band would be New Radicals. They'll kick your asses. That's funny. Oh yeah, obviously it's Avril Lavigne. Oh my God. Wouldn't it be Christ the Conqueror? Frizzy, it's definitely not the Heartbreakers, unfortunately. All of the Heartbreakers have gone to heaven. They're all gone. The Heartbreakers have died. I was lucky enough to see Billy Rath and Walter Lure play a couple of Heartbreakers songs about 14 years ago at the Delancey. One of the last times that they played, and the closest thing that anybody would get to see some Heartbreakers live. Yeah, Blur. Haha. Oh man, New Bomb Turks. It's not the New Bomb Turks, but I would love for it to be the New Bomb Turks. Shout out to Eric, who we've had on the channel. That would be sick. It's definitely not New Bomb Turks, but if it was, I would be happy with that. The Dictators, no, definitely not the Dictators. The Toy Dolls, Laura Jane Grace, the Distillers. Nope. I rule all those out. Stiff Little Fingers, man. That looks like a possibility. I feel that this version is more blurred than what previously announced release. To me, it was more clear. It was 3 words previously. However, my initial assessment of what I could make out or decipher was Newfound Glory or the Lawrence Arms, because they seem to fit the space, which would be the new or the on the top. But that kind of goes against the use of bands' official fonts and logos. Newfound Glory doesn't fit this bill. The Lawrence Arms, maybe, yeah, but Lawrence Arms is already on the bill, silly. They're down below. Dead Kennedys. It's not Dead Kennedys, man. It's not. Nope. I'm not familiar with the Verukers, the White Caps. Vaselines would fit. Biz, the Vaselines would fit. I don't know if they still play, but that definitely would work. But we can rule out Descendants officially. Officially, we can rule out the Descendants. This list seems to be all the bands, blah, blah, blah. Now, somebody else posted something very interesting. The Garden. It would be awesome if it was the Garden, but it's definitely not the Garden. The Garden would probably be on that tier, though. The Garden have gotten really, really big. In fact, they had T.S.O.L out. I was with T.S.O.L for their 2 Irving Plaza dates, just sort of as a hanger-on, or and the Garden they opened for the Garden, and the Garden, they've got quite a following now. The Dwarves doesn't fit. I don't think it fits. We already said the CJs, unfortunately. The Radioactive Chicken Heads, too long. Now we have one that's too long. It wouldn't be them either. Someone said the Casualties. That would be so lame if it was. I'm not a fan of the Casualties. I just don't. Someone said Joy Division. Someone else said that, and it's not Joy Division. It would be New Order, if anything. It wouldn't be. Against Me, no. New Pornographers. I mean, that would fit, but that would be weird. Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, too long. Someone again said New Bomb Turks. I mean, that definitely fits, but not. I don't think it is. They rarely play. It's Creed. Haha. That's funny. Anti-Nowhere League. Anti-Nowhere League wouldn't be so high. It could be the Buzzcocks, man. Okay, if it was the Replacements would be so much higher up. The Casualties do fit, and it would be so lame if they were next to the Damned. I think that'd be such a bummer. I don't know why, but it would just be such a bummer. Hold on. I want to find there's one other thread I want to check out before we wrap up here. I got to find it. I sent it to a friend. I was trying to figure this out. Just give me 1 second. Here we go. I got to send this through the other way. Through the looking glass. Where is it? Where on earth is it? Sorry, guys. Don't mean to leave you with dead air. Nothing is worse in life than dead air. We do not do dead air here on the show. Hold on. Give me 1 more second. So this is why, I need my own Jamie. I've been saying this a long time. If I had a Jamie, I'd be like, yo, Jamie, pull this up for me. I mean, I hope that, anybody who's lucky enough to have a Jamie pays them well, because they are probably worth their weight in gold. Okay, check this out. Now, here's a guy who claims to be in the know. He writes, show alert. And I don't know who this guy is. Maybe he really is in the know. This is what he says. He says, I told some of you about this a while back. It was finally announced today for those who doubted me. New album follows. And when he says new album, he is referring to the Misfits. He's saying that the Misfits are going to put out a new album. Somebody says, here's the OP. Goldenvoice said to PRB, Punk Rock Bowling, and Punk in the Park, hold my beer. Ha, ha, ha. So here's what the guy claims is going to be. The guy says, this guy who is, claims to have inside knowledge here. He says, right? It would obviously it's X. It's obviously X. Now, how awesome if it was X on that bill. If you had X, The Descendants, No Effects, and Rancid, my God. Oh my God. Just to add to all that. So this guy is saying 2 stages, alternating sets. There's time, doesn't start to overlap until later in the evening. So that is a ton of inside info that this guy is very confidently stating. Is this person affiliated? And if he was, why would he be liberally posting this on Reddit? I'm not as useful as I used to be, but it'd be a blast to be able to go. I mean, how does he know that there's 2 stages, alternating sets? That's what I predicted. I figured there'd be more than 1 stage. And he says it doesn't overlap until later in the evening, which I guess would make more sets. If the sets are going to be longer, you would imagine if everybody's 20-minute set, you could fit 3 sets in an hour, roughly. Well, there's a changeover probably of 10 minutes. So what is that? Like 2.5 sets every hour or something? I don't know. Let's see what else he says. Okay, this Morning Star says a new album, as in like a brand new Misfits material written and sung by Danzig ? I could only get so hard, dude. I'd be happy with just a live album, but new stuff would definitely be fucking crazy if Glenn wanted to tap into writing that sort of style again. And this guy, the OP, he says definitely not sung by Jerry. How would he know, man? How does he possibly know that? I just don't think he would be just, at the same time, like, why would anybody be so confident to do it unless they actually knew? Like, he's talking like that because he knows. That's the only other thing, right? Kevin says, I bet 4 stages or more. Sublime probably headlines the ska stage. Could very possible. Very, very, very possible. Let's see what else this OP says. He says, I wish holiday season 24. He says it's going to be a Merry Christmas. So this guy is claiming that there's going to be a new Misfits album for the holiday season in 2024. And then somebody writes, how do you know? And you know what kind of annoys me? Like, if this guy really does know, like, how, like, I don't know. I just feel like anybody who knows what, like, really, really knows these things keeps their mouth shut, especially in that camp. You know what I'm saying? This guy says, I tried to rally for the Clash with Tim Armstrong singing. Come on. Why would you just be in a Reddit talking out of the side of your neck? Now, here's what he says when they're asking about the blurred out thing. He says that it's not the Dead Kennedys. And he also says that we will know in about 2 weeks. And that was 2 days ago. Yep. Definitely the Spice Girls. So he says we'll know in about 2 weeks. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be doubting this guy. Maybe he knows what's up. Right? Doom Regulator, somebody asks, and then that would be an excellent choice, wouldn't it? It sure would. All right. Now, Doom Regulator is the name of the band. That's actually the name. It's not Criminals. I think Doom Regulator is the name of the band for Jesse Michaels and Tim Armstrong, Jesse Michaels with Joey Castillo, and who's also playing in the Bronx. Wait a minute, who's also playing in the Bronx, who are playing. And they're for Epitaph Records. Okay, you want to know something? Maybe it is Operation Ivy. Maybe it is Operation Ivy. Because I don't think it's Doom Regulator. But the guy who claims to be on the inside, he said that would be an excellent choice, wouldn't it? Sounds like maybe he knows something. If he does know something. Let's see what else he says. Don't think it would ever one-off chances. They wouldn't do a full tour ever. That's cool and all, but I'm not much for festivals. Wish they would just announce a tour, referring to the Misfits. And this guy is saying the Misfits won't ever do a full tour ever again. One-off shows is the best we will get aside from a new album. And then someone asked, how do you know they are releasing a new album? And he says, spoke with Glenn about it at the Verotic 30th anniversary. Doyle has also mentioned it several times. Stay tuned. So this guy is straight up saying that we're getting a new Misfits album, that he has all this inside info. He says Doyle has said new music has been written. Danzig said holiday 24, beginning of 25, the latest, as long as everyone's schedule permit, I'm assuming. And he says he'll have more info in April. So I don't know. Like, who is this guy? I tried looking up his Reddit profile and I got nothing. His name is Carl Weezer. Okay, I didn't see that before. Carl Weezer. Anybody familiar with a name Carl Weezer? Let's look that up. Unless it's a fake name. I don't see anything. Nope, nothing. Nope, but nada. So whoever this mysterious Carl Weezer is. 42 bands, 2 stages, 1 day, 11 hours. Those are some stupid short sets. Someone always has to complain. Why don't you? 4 stages. So Kevin, someone else has 4 stages. I don't know, man. I don't know. Who's actually still in the Misfits these days? That's what he says. I'll take it. He says, I've seen plenty of their shows since Riot Fest reunion, and it's 200% worth the travel and going. That is true. They play almost their entire catalog too. I'm going to ask Doyle if there's a chance he can learn American Nightmare so they could put it on the set list. So he's like talking like he really he's talking like he knows all those guys, and he's also talking like he super loose-lipped on Reddit. And if listen, I don't know those guys. I don't. But I know a lot of people who know those guys. And if there's one thing I've learned about that camp, all those camps and all those people, they don't talk about shit. They whisper about it. Information like trickles out little by little. Nobody talks about shit. If this guy really truly knew all this stuff, he would never fucking say it on Reddit. That's why I have such trouble taking anything he's saying seriously at all, because some of it contradicts what I've heard and it just doesn't line up. So I think this guy, there's no way this guy could be telling the truth. But again, it's like, why? Like, I mean, people lie on the internet like they do. Like, why would you speak so confidently unless you were telling the truth? Is it me? Is it just my nature that I just want to believe that if someone is going to be that confident, that they must be speaking from a position of authority? And then again, I have to remind myself, it's the internet and people just literally fucking just shit out of the side of their mouths. Ooh, the voodoo glow skulls. That would be cool. I don't know why they would be blurred out, though. I don't know why they would be blurred out. Dan says, I was told they were working on recording shortly after the original 2016 reunions. A guy I work with who knows John Cafiero told me this in 2017. He said they were running into problems recording. Could be. Who knows? Who knows? Went to both LA Misfit shows and the Final Slayer show. First show was, Voodoo Glow Skulls. That would be a really cool addition, but it's not them. Definitely wouldn't fit that bill. Yeah, Raphael makes a great point. Remember the leaked photo from 2016 rehearsals? The guy was immediately fired. Danzig's long fucking term bodyguard. I think that was him. Dave, who I used to always see at any of those shows. He was always there. Big fucking guy. He posted one day on Facebook that there was maybe he was the guy who leaked that photo, or he just posted something on Facebook saying, hey, the Misfits are getting back together. He was fired. Danzig fucking canned him, dude. Danzig is so fucking like protective of that shit. There's no fucking way that this guy fucking would really know some shit and then say that. I just don't believe it. Fat Randy. Yeah, I was asking myself, apparently Turnstile is really that big. And I mean, I didn't even know. I didn't even know about them. Is Roland singing for Black Flag? Come on. We know that's not. We did a whole deep dive on why Rollins and fucking the rest of those guys don't talk. And it's kind of like a lot of it was we had to read between the lines. All right, so this guy says ew, Fugazi, and then minor threat next year. So he's claiming that it will be minor threat next year. He sound like, I'll be honest, he sounds like a guy who maybe like knows people, who probably heard a couple of things trickle out and now is trying to like, be that guy who knows everything on the internet. I just feel like he just doesn't, he's just talking out of the side of his neck, dude. 2 stages, 4. I don't know. He says there's just a digital flyer. There'll be a limited edition posters at the event. However, like everything he says about the show, like I shrug my shoulders and I go, okay, so it's possible. But the moment he starts talking about like stuff relating to the Misfits, and I just go like, come on, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. My friend's Turnstile is huge with the kids. Maybe that's why they got them, because they wanted to pull in a younger demographic. My friends' kids are into them, and that's their common interest hardcore band. Kevin, what do you think of them? Are they any good? Should I give them a listen? I'll probably listen when I get off this show. There's 2 VIP sections on either side. I mean, he's talking like he's working the show. That's what it really sounds like. But is he, is he some peon, or is he someone who's helping to mastermind this thing? One word answers yes. Why are Agent Orange so low? Because they're mediocre compared to I don't know. Guys like that kind of annoy me. People think that I'm a guy like that too, so I really can't talk, but I don't know. Well, you guys, this has been fun. They don't really stick with me. I'm not mad about them. All right, I'm going to listen to Turnstile right now, actually, real quick. I can't do it here. I'm going to listen in one ear. I'm going to tell you what I think as I'm listening, okay? I'm going to Spotify. Let me go to Spotify real quick, and I'm going to put on the most popular Turnstile song and see what it is that they are all about. And I will determine whether or not they are worthy of, let's see, first of all, how many people do they have on Turnstile? This is going to affect my profile on Spotify. Let's take a look. Yeah, I don't think Agent Orange. I mean, Agent Orange is like fine. I think this guy is full of shit, to be honest. I really do. The stuff he said about the Misfits and Danzig, I just don't believe it. All right, so they have 1.3 million monthly listeners. I mean, that's pretty big. And they're a Grammy. They've won Grammys. All right, I'm going to listen to a song right now. This one's called Blackout, and it's their most popular song, it seems. All right, I'm putting it on. Okay. Haven't heard enough of it to tell anything yet. Sometimes you could tell in 10 seconds. I don't think I like the vocals. Sounds a little melodic. Yeah, JFA, right? How about some Boston bands? Yeah. This is hardcore? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, maybe. Let's listen to Alien Love Call. No, Mystery is the next one. Ooh, electronical. This is weird. This is very antisocial of me to be doing this while we're... Yeah, I could see how, you know what it sounds like? It's, you know what it sounds like? Turnstile sounds like, to me, it sounds like, sort of like a gateway into, it's like a digestible gateway into hardcore music, in the same way. How about this? Like, I'll give you a great example. Like, if you like Sam Hain, generally speaking, Sam Hain is a very acquired taste. It's not music that is full of hooks. It's not music that's trying to make you like it. It's something that you have to learn how to appreciate, and it clicks with you one day and you're like, oh my God. Especially if you just, I don't know, if you just understand, if you can understand and appreciate the aesthetics of what's being done, and then all of a sudden you start to see where the hooks are, and it starts to really dig into you. I feel like Turnstile is the opposite. Turnstile is it's like a way of spoon feeding a genre of music in a sort of really digestible way. You know who they kind of remind me of? Okay, there was a band from some of the guys in Screeching Weasel, not Ben Weasel. They got together. Fuck, what's the name? The Methadones, I think they're called. Is anybody familiar with the Methadones? the Methadones, Turnstile sounds like the Methadones, although I think the Methadones does it better, to be honest with you. Dagger, what's up, Dagger? How are you? The first time I ever heard Sam Hain was someone gave me Initium on CD. And I immediately, as soon as I heard Black Dream, that was the first song. Actually, Initium was the first song. Initium, Sam Hain. Actually, I didn't hear Sam Hain. I listened to Initium, and I think I skipped on to Black Dream because Initium and Sam Hain were on the same track, so I didn't hear Sam Hain immediately, right? And then I heard Black Dream. And my immediate thought was this is just Glenn Danzig's continuation of the Misfits. That was my immediate thought. And then the more I listened to that album, I listened to it over and over and over again, because at that point I just wanted to hear anything that Glenn Danzig did. I had not yet gotten into Danzig, the band Danzig. I had listened to everything that the Misfits had to offer to me at that point in time. And I just wanted to expand my horizons further. And so I was like, oh, cool, Sam Hain. And yeah, and like Macabre. And then, slowly I started to fall in love with those songs over and over again in different ways. Like I started to hear Macabre in a different way, and I started to hear The Shift in a different way, and I just started to see it at different levels, and then to like really dig into Unholy Passion, like The Hungry End and Moribund, like god damn, I love that band, I really do. But it is not, for a lot of people, it is not as accessible. It's just not. It's not as accessible, and it's a harder nut to crack. You might hear it initially. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie. Like Human Pony Girl, that's not a song. Human Pony Girl, not my cup of tea. That's a track I can skip any day of the week. Same thing with Let the Day Begin. I am not big on Let the Day Begin. I just don't like it. I don't like. There's a lot I don't like about that song. It just doesn't do anything for me. I like every single track on Initium, every single fucking track. I like every single track on Unholy Passion. And really, apart from those two tracks on November Coming Fire, I love all of November Coming Fire too. I mean, I'll listen to them. I'll listen to the whole album all the way through, but it just, I don't know why did we start talking about that again? I forget. Just in terms of like what I think of Turnstile. Turnstile's just, it's like an entry point. I could appreciate what they represent, and I'm okay with that. At some point I'm gonna listen to the whole album. I can't talk and listen at the same time. It's just not gonna work. So, but I think, listen, I think we've run the gambit here of what it could possibly be. I guess, according to that guy, I guess maybe we'll know more in 2 weeks, right? Who fucking knows, man? Who friggin' knows? I mean, I would love for it to, if it was Operation Ivy, that'd be super cool. Could it be Doom Regulator? Could it be D.O.? It could be. I don't know. That second word is too long. Stiff Little Fingers. I'm still going with Stiff Little Fingers. That's my educated guess. Yes, it is. It is easier for West Coast bands to play this one-off show. You are correct about that. Sam Hain has this sort of atmosphere I can't quite describe. Very hard to describe. I've tried describing the music of Sam Hain. I have sat with the members of Sam Hain. We've had every single member of Sam Hain on this show, except for we haven't had London May and we haven't had Glenn Danzig, but we had Damien, we've had Steven, we've had Erie, and we've talked about Sam Hain ad nauseum with three of them. What else? What else, guys? That's it. That's the show. That's the show. Keep your eyes peeled. Listen, that Manny episode is coming. It's just I'm waiting on one more guy to include, because I found another guy that knows Manny, and him and I have been meaning to talk for a long time. And We added the goat. So the chupacabra from the Misfits, from who plays on the later Misfits albums that Jerry did. The goat, he did him and I had a Zoom session, and he talked about Manny and Manny's playing, and it was really, really great. And that full conversation is actually available to Patreon members and YouTube members. I was like, there's too much good stuff in here not to put it in the archive. So it's up there. And his sound bites will get added to the episode. And then, like I said, I got one more guy I gotta talk to, and then we'll be complete. So as of right now, we have Franche Coma, Mr. Jim, we have the goat, we have Robbie Bloodshed, and we have one more guy coming. And then the Manny episode will be good to go. A lot of great information in this Manny episode. If you like the Misfits, if you like all that stuff. And I got to tell you, the goat, what a fucking Eric. He is a nice fucking dude. He will eventually, we talked about him coming on for an episode of Pizza Punk. So keep your eyes peeled for that in the future. Eric, Kevin has a funny story about the goat. You text it to me, Kevin. I'm going to get out of here, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Peace, hair grease, all the rest. We will see you next